Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Gorgeous, make them drop dead, you a killer. Shower you with all my attention. Yeah, these are my only intentions. Stay in the kitchen cooking up, got your own bread. Heart full of equity, you're an asset. Make sure that you don't need no mentions. Yeah, these are my only intentions. Shout out to your mom and dad for making you. Staying in ovation, they did a great job raising you. When I create, you're my muse. The kind of smile that makes the news. Can't nobody throw shade on your name in these streets. Triple threat, you a boss, you a bank, you a beast. You make it easy to choose. You got a mean touch, I can't refuse. No, I can't refuse it. Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Gorgeous, make them drop dead, you a killer. Shower you with all my attention. Yeah, these are my only intentions. Stay in the kitchen cooking up, got your own bread. Heart full of equity, you're an asset. Make sure that you don't need no mentions. Yeah, these are my only intentions. Already passed, you don't need no approval. Good everywhere, don't worry about no refusal. Second to none, you got the upper hand now. Don't need a sponsor, no, you're the brand now.
Stand guys.
Chân lên. Good to go. Hello. I don't know the rings. Okay. We're all here to celebrate the relationship between Lyneth and Kevin. Some of us, particularly myself, were pretty relieved we finally found someone. I couldn't really be any happier for Kevin. Although sometimes I wonder if Lyneth knows what she's really gotten herself into at this point. They've already had their courthouse wedding, so I guess it's too late for reflection at this point. But regardless, together, we're a group of some of the most important people in their lives, and they've brought us here to celebrate today. Let me see if I can do this better. There. Lyneth and Kevin want me to thank you all for being here and risking getting coronavirus. And to recognize how each and every one of you are very important to them and their relationship. They would also like me to recognize some of the people who couldn't be here today. They're certainly missed, but not forgotten today. And in particular, they wanted me to give a shout out to their dog, Coco. When Kevin told me he needed help at the wedding, I told him I was available to help, obviously. He said he was having a hard time filling a few positions. One was being the officiate, and the other one was that guy that hands out the paper towels in the toilet. I considered the toilet gig, but I figured I could embarrass him a little bit more up here, so I accepted the position. I've been fortunate enough to know him for over 20 years. We first met back at Rosemont Middle School. I remember seeing him on his first day, looking a little sad, eating hot sauce out of the packets. And I kind of felt bad for him, so I went over to talk to him, kind of make fun of him a little bit. But after I talked to him a little bit, I realized he was a pretty good guy, and ever since then, we haven't really been able to get rid of him. We've done a lot together, from our first underage beers and cigarettes, traveling the world, going to Mexico, getting in fights and arrested, paying off cops, and then paying coyotes to get over the border. Sometimes I look back and kind of wonder how we survived all of this and came out in one piece. So, Lyneth, let me just thank you from the bottom of my heart that you're responsible for this guy now. And I'm off the hook. They asked for some words of wisdom and what I felt marriage was all about, and so that's what I came up with without any help from Google. I said, I'd say marriage is tough. If you happen to only stand up here once in your life, I'd call it a win. And I hate to tell you, the hard times are probably still ahead of you. But the good news is some of the best and most rewarding times lie ahead as well. And now you have a wolf pack to travel together with. Marriage tells one another that you'll always have someone to pick you up when you feel like you can't go on. It gives you the right to tell your spouse the things that no one else can, like you need to suck it up, or yes, you're being cheap. Maybe you should lay off that second serving of dessert because your belt's about to pop, and this one goes for Kevin. The 5-second rule doesn't apply to wet things. But to me, it's just a way to tell one another that where you came from isn't really that important, or as important as where you guys plan on going together. And lastly, it's just another way to tell one another that no matter how much you snore, how many times you vomit, pass out while in Las Vegas on your bachelor party, we're still in this together. Finding the right person's hard. Some people spend their whole life looking for them. But from the first time I met Lyneth, I knew they had something special. I remember driving up to our house, making dumplings. And while Kevin never said it openly, there's some pretty obvious clues that he was falling in love. I'll say the biggest one, the most obvious one, was openly farting in front of her. Another was his transformation into this Instagram husband, taking thousands of pictures of everything they did. And, I could tell from the first time that I met her that Lyneth knows what she wants, and she's not shy about going after it. I think she decided early on that she wanted to be with Kevin, and there wasn't really any stopping that. I think this was probably a good thing because I don't think he really had any idea of what to do in a serious relationship. I remember Lon and I asking her one time if she wanted to get married, and her response pretty much erased any doubts we had about her. She said, "I already proposed to him, but he ignored me and said he wanted to do it himself." And to me, that pretty much sums it up. Every relationship has its quirks. There's works because Lyneth is as equally enamored with Kevin as he is with her. And despite a relatively short relationship, I have no doubt that this is the real deal. All right. At this moment, the bride and groom like to show their gratitude to their mothers for raising them to be the woman and man they are today. I did that on purpose. Just have this on. All right, Lyneth and Kevin, the vows you're about to make, they share your love and commitment to each other in your own words. Before you get started, let me just give you a couple words of advice. I'd advise you to avoid calling your spouse any mean names, like being dumb or stupid, because someone's tried that before and didn't work out too well. This still comes up occasionally in conversations. So let's start with you. You just gave me that.
Kevin, where do I begin? Before I met you, I was just this lonely girl who was hopelessly looking for love. Every day at noon, I would open my Coffee Meet Bagels app, hoping to find my perfect match. But days after days, dates after dates, I was so disappointed. My friends and coworkers really enjoyed listening to me complaining about my dating life. It was so funny and miserable at the same time. But then one day, I came across your profile. I thought to myself, he looked kind of cute, he loved kids, and he loved to travel. I proceeded to stalk your Instagram for a little bit and saw that you got a cute dog named Coco. So I decided to unlock your profile just so I can meet Coco. I remember the way you looked at me on our first date. You kept a smile on your face the entire night. You look at me like I'm the cutest thing you have ever seen. You opened the door for me and treat me like a gentleman should treat his lady. Many dates later, you still open the door for me. And continue to be a gentleman. You took care of me even when I lived far away. I remember when I was sick and didn't have medicine at home, you sent me chicken soup and medicine through Postmates. When I was down, you bought me flowers. When I was cold, you gave me your jacket. You were there for me when I was at my low. You were a shoulder to cry on when I went through family problems. I knew then that I can always count on you. You packed me lunch for work, made me breakfast, and walked me to my car every morning when I told you not to. Sometimes I would cry on my way to work because I don't know how did I get so lucky to deserve a man like you. I know that our relationship isn't perfect and our journey together would not be easy. Our families and culture are very different, but I wouldn't do it if it weren't with you. Your love and your respect for my family as if they were yours. You flew to Cambodia to ask for my dad's permission, even you already knew I would say yes to you no matter what. I know my dad and brother couldn't be here today, but I'm sure they are so proud of me for marrying a wonderful man like you. When you were in Korea and I was back in America, I missed you so much and couldn't wait till the day you come back. You know what they always say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. At that time, I knew I couldn't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. When we talk about proposal, you worry and stress about how you're gonna propose to me since I watch too much reality show like Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Keeping Up with the Kardashian, and my expectation would be high. To be honest, whether you ask me at the top of the mountain or at a street corner where we first saw each other, I would say yes either way. Kevin, there's so many ways I love about you. Your kindness is one of many reasons. You make me a better person. You always show me that there's always positive way to look at things. I can't wait to tell our kid about how awesome and kind that dad is. I hope our son will grow up to be a gentleman like their dad because the world needs more men like you. Kevin, I promise to make you lasagna again when we have our own oven. I promise not to kick you out of the room when you want to stay up too late or snore too loud. I promise to love you more and more every day and still pay attention to you when we both have kids. I promise I will love and respect your family like my own. I promise to walk by your side, to love, to help, and to encourage you. I vow to take time to share with you, to listen, and to care. I will share your laughter and your tears as your partner, lover, and best friend. I promise always to respect you and honor you. Kevin, you are my forever, my best friend, my dream come true, my shoulder to lean on, my husband. You are my everything. I love you.
I used to wonder how people could possibly live their entire lives with one other person. How anyone could share their life with one other person forever. And then I met you. When we first met, I honestly think it was love at first sight. I remember I couldn't stop smiling, and I was somehow so sure we would be together. Now that we've met, I can't imagine a life without you. I can't imagine not sharing everything with you. I'm so lucky and honored to be spending forever with you. The days leading up to our court wedding, it was very emotional, and I think we cried like every day. Now that we are actually married, I'm so happy, and I look at you, and I can't believe you're my wife. I look at my ring, and I can't believe I have one of these. I love telling random people at the markets, at the bank, that I got married, or I'm getting married. You know? It's weird. I know it'll work out, and I know the Lee Chang family will become the most amazing Cambodian team ever. Thank you for dealing with me and dealing with it all and loving me. I think we're pretty amazing together. I promise to cherish you and honor you, to put your needs before mine, to work harder than I've ever worked before. I promise to feed you boiling crab and chipotle every once in a while. I promise to try to always make you laugh and not annoy you too much. I can't believe I'm marrying you. I'll work really hard. I promise to work hard to deserve you.
on both.
Yeah.
Keep it together. We're almost done. All right. Okay. So let's exchange some rings. You have the rings?
Yes.
All right. Kevin, place a ring on her finger. Hold her hands. And repeat after me. Do you take Lyneth to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Okay. All right. And Lyneth. Place that ring on his finger. Hold his hands. And then repeat after me. Do you take Kevin to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, to be faithful to him for as long as you both shall live? That was yes. Okay. So Lyneth and Kevin, remember, happy spouse equals a happy house. Figure out what hills you're willing to die on and then let the rest go. Life is short, filled with joy and excitement, so when your time comes, you can look back without any regrets. It's now my pleasure to pronounce husband and wife. You can now kiss your bride. Yeah, get out of here. Let's get out of here now.